Last time on Corpse Party, Book of Shadows.
Shinozaki Estate. Let's go check it out. Right now. Naho lost her life in Heavenly Host Elementary School just like everyone else. Proof that not everyone who dies in the school gets erased from existence. What business do you have at the Shinozaki Estate? Get out! Go on, get out of here!
I don't know what business you got in that place, but hop in if you want, I'll take you up. You just come back when you're done.
Wait, where's the old man?
Why would he lock it with the truck running? It's the house! I wouldn't go in there.
I know it's really scary, but we can't turn back now.
Greetings, my beautiful viewers! I am the Hunter of Comedy! Welcome back to Corpse Party, Book of Shadows! Holy shit! We're in the future times, the present times in the storyline after the first game. No longer viewing all the optional, side stories and things that has been the, entirety of this game. We are now in the Blood Drive prologue, and we have found the Shinozaki Estate, and Ayumi looks way too happy to be going in there. Makes me very concerned. But, yeah, apparently we're going inside. Let's go. Wait! No good. The Phantom Estate had no power, it seemed. The barn still has working lights, but not the main house? It's a ghost house that appeared here! Why would you expect the lights to work? Fortunately, there was a flashlight on a nearby table. The class rep picked it up and switched it on, illuminating the wall across from the entrance. Why wouldn't you bring a flashlight? Not that there was much to see. The entranceway itself was extremely small, breaking off to the right at the solid wooden door just a few steps in. A quick pan to the left then revealed a steep hardwood staircase leading up, and it was pretty much the entire room. Be careful. The energy in here is strong. Oh, God. She'd gone completely pale. I could tell just by looking at her that she'd sensed something. Her eyes shone with a mixture of terror and determination. It's much darker than Heavenly Host. The energy in this house is jet black. Well, this is apparently, weird how this place is more cursed than the actual school that they died in, but this was their home, so I don't know. Really? Don't let your guard down. Not for 1 second. Thinking back, our first steps into this house were basically the start of it all. It was at that point that we'd left the world of ordinary far behind. The door to safety is shut, as they say. Simply being able to see these walls, these floors, these ceilings with our naked eyes directly defied the laws of nature. The house itself was a ghost. We are inside a ghost house. Not like a house that is, it is a house that is a ghost. Not a ghost house, like a house that ghosts live in. We are, this is bad. This bad. Literally anything could happen in here. I knew that. I was doing everything I could to brace myself for the trials ahead. But the fear was still there, and the shaking wouldn't stop. I don't really know how to explain it, but there's something, a literal wave of emotional turmoil cutting right through the air in here. It's pretty deeply ingrained, too. I wonder what happened before this place was torn down. I don't know. Oh! Okay. The wash closet. Water closet. The bathroom. Japanese-style floor toilet. Every part of it is distressingly filthy, and there are spider webs strung up along the inside. There's blood on the floor here. It's old and dried out, thankfully, but you do have to wonder why nobody would have bothered wiping it up. Okay. The drain is packed tightly with what looks to be thousands of bodies of unidentifiable insects. That's very similar to Hope's Peak. Windows located surprisingly high up along the wall, revealing only a view of the night sky. Again, why would you come in here? Okay, I have found the bathroom. An oddly... it's an old-fashioned wooden tub cover. It looks extremely brittle and has rotted through completely, sporting several holes and missing or warped beams. The window seems to be facing the moon right now, and it's letting in a surprising amount of ambient light. It's an old soaking tub with a water heater feeding into it. The heater is clearly broken and the tub is filled with green stagnant water and bugs. Ah! Don't look into the water. Yoshie and Sachiko aren't the only spirits in here. Wait, Sachiko shouldn't be here. Neither should Yoshie. They should both be gone. Didn't we, do that in a ritual? In the first game? This place was used as a psychiatric clinic, so we may have to contend with old patients as well. Okay! Now I really want to look in there. Okay, I guess I can't. Okay, we'll go into the hall. That's it? Okay, the other hall. Looks like it goes underground, which is weird. Okay, how do I get to the... Okay, yeah, just a lot of hallways. And now the kitchen! The layout of this house is very strange. I just want to say that going into this. Cabinet is filled with small dishes and utensils intended for use by young children. Each one is printed with cutesy bunny or cat designs. Okay. Obviously for her daughter. The handles to these cabinet doors and drawers are all missing. Sounds of skittering bugs can be heard from within. Probably best to leave them closed. Probably. Old-fashioned gas range. Its surface is stained with oil. Okay, what's this? It's a gas burning hot water heater. Every part of it is rusted, perfectly illustrating its age. There's absolutely no chance it still works. An old model refrigerator, post-icebox era, but very definitely not modern in any way. Seems to be completely empty inside. Okay, what about the windows here? Nothing? I already looked at that. Cabinet below the sink is off its hinges, and a few rusted together pots are hanging from it. The odor given off by them is stomach churning. Ugh. Okay, let's go to the living room. These old books are packed with various odds and ends, including tiny toy rings and a few old yen bills. The rings are practically black with crusted on dust and dirt. However, the money is covered in mold. Drawers open easily and seem overall to be in remarkably good shape considering their age. The only things inside, however, are old playing cards with star, circle, and triangle patterns on their backs. Each of these drawers seems stuck to its frame, as if it's been glued shut. There's no obvious way to open them. Okay. If you cross your eyes a bit, the holes in the shoji door look like a person's face. Once you see it, however, you can't unsee it, and the whole room becomes exponentially creepier. Probably best not to look at all. I don't really see it. No, either way. Pieces of cloth have been haphazardly tossed into this box. Also seems to be a few rolled up newspapers, but they're absolutely crawling with assorted bugs. Probably best not to touch them. There are various medicine bottles scattered here and there on the shelves. Okay. Coffee table with a missing leg. Curious, you can scan the immediate area for the wooden leg, but it's nowhere in sight. This used to be a floor cushion for people to sit at the coffee table, but the cushion stuffing has been removed, leaving only cloth behind. Huh. Please wait here for your name to be called. Please help yourself to some tea. Wait here? I guess that makes sense. Yoshie did run a clinic from this house after all. Oh, that can't be good! Mr. Yukimura? Yes? What seems to be the problem? Well, that can't be good. A traditional tatami mat of the sort commonly found in virtually any Japanese home is propped against the wall here. Seems to be infested with bugs. Ew, ew. Anything else here? I don't see anything else. Okay. Let's try going back to the main entrance here real quick. Door isn't locked, nor is it sealed like in the school, but it still won't open. Seems to be something heavy blocking it from the other side. Okay. Old picture frame, but the glass is broken and there's no picture inside. The mirror frightens me. I'd rather not look into it if I can help it. Why not? Well, a mirror is an object that people peer into, and over time their thoughts and feelings can burn themselves into the glass. It's very common. Now that you mention it, I guess mirrors do kind of make me feel like I'm being watched, even though I know it's just me in there. That wasn't me and Nakashima I saw just now. Looked like Sachiko and Shinohara. Maybe it was just my imagination? Oh, she thought she saw someone else in there. The shoe shelves were full of dead rats. Each one of them, without exception, had its stomach dug out. Maybe they ate each other? Hopefully they ate each other. Staircase is very plain, and the stairs themselves are exceptionally steep. Also, they're also quite old and seem to have absorbed a good deal of moisture, so it would be best to take care when climbing them. Okay! These stairs sure don't feel safe. Ow! Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. The floorboards here are pretty well rotten, though. Rotten through, though. So, be really careful. Best to hang on to the wall for leverage as you go. It's so weird. This is the house that shouldn't even exist, but we can touch everything. We can pick it all up. It's all real. I seem to recall reading about cases before where the house itself is basically just a spiritual echo, but this seems completely different. Ah, we are upstairs. Okay. There's 3 bedrooms. Why are there 3 bedrooms? Well, it was a quote-unquote clinic. This particular bedroom looks like it's been converted into a study. Seems out of place considering the family. Whose study was it? Maybe the husband before he passed? It's the frame to an old mirror that's long since been busted out. Where the looking glass once stood, there's now a creepy drawing of an old woman. Just a rough sketch, but it looks absolutely realistic, as if it could jump up and jump out of the frame at any moment. The bookshelf is full of old books that have been thoroughly wrecked with age. Each one of them is yellowed, musty, and falling apart. The desk is piled high with dust, but the items situated on it are neat and tidy. Whoever used it was very organized. Right in the middle of the desk sits a lone key, covered in dried blood. Take it? Yeah, sure, why not? Required the key to Yoshie's room. Wait, did you hear something? Sounded like footsteps echoing through the wooden frame of the house. Specifically, like someone with leather shoes walking around on the first floor. Class rep and I looked to one another and shuddered. After a moment, the footsteps began loudly stomping up the stairs. It's coming toward us!
We have to hide! We scrambled against the wall of the room, leaving the door ever so slightly ajar so we could survey the staircase. Yeah! Maybe there's something in here with us. Something walking around the halls. God, I can't take this anymore. Constant, unrelenting pressure of this search was beginning to take its toll on me. Class rep, sensing my agitation, took my hand in hers. Keep it together, Nakashima. Stay strong. Remember, Heavenly Host. If we allow those holes to form in our hearts, we'll just fall prey to the darkening. You're right. Thank you.
Okay. That was worth a shot! One of its right legs is bent beyond repair, and there's a thick layer of dust pile on top of it. It's been sitting here for a long, long time. Okay. No longer have anything of interest on the desk. Okay. Let's go into the other bedroom. Door is locked. Looks like the key from the other room fits. Okay. Must be Yoshie's room.
This is...
There were photos of Sachiko all over the room. Virtually everything there was space for them. Her mother clearly held her very dear. Pictures of Sachiko are sprawled out all across the surface of the desk. However, like so many objects in the Heavenly Host, they're affixed to its surface as if they were mere decoration. Couldn't pick them up or be moved. Okay. There's a tiny kimono in the box, sized for a young girl. The style looks similar to ones worn in Shichiko-san Festival, which would make this Sachiko's for sure. Must be like a children's festival or something. That is a safe.
Ah, Nakashima, look up there! Oh, isn't that...
Perched high up off the ground, a traditional household shrine was affixed to the wall, and within it was an easily recognizable paper doll.
An offering. I guess it's enshrined alongside a mirror intimidating the shape of Yata no Kagami. This must be the doll that Naho brought back with her.
Apparently the class reps parting in Heavenly Host with her former mentor Naho had not been a pleasant one. She looked momentarily distraught. In front of the enshrined doll was a square sheet of yellowed paper containing hand-inked instructions performing an all-too-familiar ritual. Spirit in the ever after. To confer a dying land upon an offering, one shall meditate upon his/her name. Please must be spoken in silence a number of times equal to the transgressors plus the offering. An avatar for one of the offerings must then be torn and split equally amongst the transgressors. If performed correctly, the offering's desired location shall become the land in which he/she dies. This was the original form of the Sachiko Ever After ritual. So did Yoshie use Sachiko as an offering in order to make Heavenly Host the land of her death? This would have had to happen while she was still alive, but why? What was she hoping to accomplish? That is a good question. So what's this now? Appears to be an embedded wall safe with a circular padlock and a panel of buttons comprised of digits 0 through 9.
Let me see. This looks almost like some kind of vault, doesn't it?
Tried pressing the buttons at random in hopes of opening the lock by pure chance, but it didn't do a thing. Following the spin clockwise indicator etched into the steel safe, we tried spinning the lock itself as well, but had no luck with that either. In fact, as soon as the lock made one full rotation, all the buttons pressed in suddenly popped back out. So we're dealing with a combination locked safe surrounded by photos of Sachiko when she was still alive. If Yoshi's the one who set the combination, it's safe to assume it has something to do with Sachiko.
You know, you're absolutely right. It must be something really simple.
Whoever used this safe would have chosen something they wouldn't forget after all.
Question is, what would that something be?
Tried a handful of different combinations based on homonyms, rhyming, and the like. Every time, we just spun the lock, and hear the metallic thunk and watch as the numbers reset on us. Sachiko, come on, think. We made it back from Heavenly Host alive, so there must be some tidbit of knowledge we can use. What did we actually learn about Sachiko, though? Number-wise, all I could think of was an approximate height, and that didn't work. What about that kimono? That was from the Shinto Shichigo-san Festival for children ages 7, 5, and 3. Age 5 is just for boys, if I recall correctly, and Sachiko was a lot older than 3 in some of the photos, so Sachiko's apparent age is 7, all by itself. It was a long shot, but... Hey, I got it! Wow, nice job, Nakashima! The area of the wall all around the safe opened up like a secret door, with the combination lock holding in place and serving as a doorknob. Down the tiny door, a door so small that we had to crawl all through it, was a long staircase stretching down into a hidden underground room. Spider webs and the dust is really thick here. Hey, come on, I want to see too. Is it some kind of storehouse, maybe? Tried to get a better look at what we were crawling into, but the stairs went down so far that even with a flashlight, it was just too dark. So this is a hidden passageway that shouldn't exist, inside a building that shouldn't exist. I think the danger level has reached its peak here. Feels like we're standing at the entrance to some realm that's not even a part of this world. The class rep looked me right in the eye. I was scared, but I knew exactly what she was going to say. She didn't need to speak a single word. Even if all that awaited us down there was an unimaginably horrific end, we were standing at the source of the answers we so desperately sought. We were poised to uncover the truth behind the curse of Sachiko Shinozaki. This was the gate to a new world. If we turned back, we'd regret it for the rest of our lives. So the two of us just looked one another in the eyes and nodded. We were ready to descend this staircase into whatever abyss lurked below. I don't think even Naho made it this far, so be careful, Nakashima. Stay alert and focus down there, no matter what happens. She'd begun descending the stairs ahead of me, but stopped and looked back after only a few steps to issue me one last warning. I nodded again. It's those same footsteps. There really is something else in here wandering around. It sounds like it's on the second floor. They were extremely close. Sounds as if they were poised just outside of the door to Yoshie's room, just a few feet away. Nakashima, down the staircase. Hurry! Okay. And so the two of us fled through the secret door and down the stairs. No more hesitation. Wooden steps creaked and groaned beneath us, even more than the ones from the main stairwell. It felt like they might fall apart at any moment. We took one step at a time, swallowing our fear and just pushing onward until eventually, finally, we arrived in a small, damp, musty room underground. Are you alright? There's a lot of junk on the ground here, so be careful where you walk. Okay. There was no light down here with us whatsoever, save for the class rep's shaky flashlight beam. All that beam revealed was a mess of books and clutter. With a twist of the wrist, it then shone upon a desk containing a chaotic mountain of books, loose leaf notes, documents, and assorted beakers and flasks. Looks like some mad scientist had done research and conducted all manner of untold experiments down here. What's that? Looks like someone's family tree. Class rep shot over toward a desk further in, her interest piqued by a glimpse of a large document spread out on its surface. I followed her lead. You need a light too, don't you? Sorry. There's a desk over there, but I saw blades and other sharp tools on it, so it's kind of dangerous. Stay where you are. Genealogy chart, gifted line.
It really is a family tree. What does it mean by gifted? Shinozaki, Mifune, Shimamura, Mito, Nagao. I recognize some of these names. That's right, it's not necessarily a lie. There were many individuals born in the closing days of the Meiji period who possessed remarkable powers. These people achieved fame for their photography abilities and psychic talents prior to the so-called Senrigan Jiken, or clairvoyance, controversy. Chizuko Mifune and Ikuno Nagao were particularly noteworthy figures at the time, and whether their abilities were real or not is beside the point. What matters is that even after the scientific community discredited such abilities, the truly gifted continued exploring them anyway, often in secret. So if they're the gifted line, does that mean Yoshie and Sachiko were descended from those famous clairvoyants? Sure seems that way. From the look of it, the Shinozaki line was never blessed with male heirs either. It's a matrilineal house that passed its blood and family name down from mother to daughter, generation after generation, through adopted son-in-laws. I was certain if I traced this family tree far enough, I'd find the names of Yoshie and Sachiko. Ah, there they are. Just like everyone before her, Yoshie had married a man who'd been adopted into the family in order to keep the Shinozaki name. Looks like the root of the tree is the same person named Seira. And Yoshie's mother's name is Raki? She was the eldest daughter in her family and had no brothers. So that makes Yoshie a thoroughbred, a direct, unfiltered descendant of Seira. It stands to reason, then, that she'd have so much power and influence, even as a spirit. The rapping is getting pretty loud in here. All of these adopted fathers who continued the family line died suddenly after their children were born, it seems, without even one single exception. It's like the family line had a mind of its own and went to great lengths to eliminate the blood of other lines once it served its purpose. These are men who were willing to give up their own birthrights and take another's name for the sake of love. It must have been hard on the Shinozaki women. Daddy's not breathing. No, darling, no! I suppose this was a fate that just couldn't be averted. Such a strong spiritual influence. Kanai Shinozaki Arihito Hayato. That's my grandmother, my grandfather, and my dad! I remember hearing that my grandfather was adopted into my grandmother's family and passed away shortly after my dad was born. The head of the family had 3 daughters, and Grandma Kanai is descended from the youngest. I thought it was creepy enough just having the same last name, but to think my family is actually from the same lineage as Yoshie and Sachiko.
I mean, it makes sense. She is very spiritually sensitive, but it feels like, in a way, her family broke the curse because her father didn't die, as far as I know.
Am I gifted then? What does that even mean? Hey, did you find something? It's pitch black and really creepy just standing here, you know. Yeah, sorry about that. I'll be right there. In fact, fire hazard or no, how about I lend you one of my candles?
Class rep had an old oversized sheet of paper in her hands and was shaking wildly. Did she find some crucial piece of information, I wondered? Book of Shadows.
Class rep? Are you okay? It hurts. My head feels like it's being crushed in a vice. No, stop this. Keep it together. She suddenly turned toward one corner of the room and froze completely, gazing intently at the wall. Her eyes became wide as saucers. She was like a cat who'd stiffened up and just kept staring into thin air, on high alert for no discernible reason. And just as cat owners are often left wondering what their pets are seeing, I too wondered if she was looking at something, or heard a voice, or a noise, maybe. I was worried about her, but really, I was more scared than anything. I grabbed her and tried to shake her out of this disconcerting trance. Class rep, what's wrong? She brushed me off and held a hand, as if to say, hold it right there. Then she began walking slowly toward the corner she'd been watching. There didn't seem to be anything special about it. It looked no different from anything else in the room. It was just an ordinary wall. For a few moments longer, the class rep just stood there, gazing at this empty space. Then, with no explanation, she began tearing away loose boards. It wasn't difficult to do. The entire room was old and in tremendous disrepair, and the wood was quite thoroughly rotted. Each board came off easily. Eventually, small gaps began to form. She stuck her fingers into these and pulled, yanking away whole chunks of wall, forming bigger and bigger crevices. These crevices then finally merged into one big gaping hole, through which a hidden sub-room, no bigger than a closet, had now been fully exposed. Oh, shit. And within that sub-room sat a thick, dark tome. Yeah, that's a fucked up book. That's a fucked up book. It's the Book of Shadows. Why is this in Japan? What's going on? What's the Book of Shadows? Whatever it was clearly a very old book. Didn't even look like it was bound from paper. There were small oriental patterns sewn into it, all of which had a certain disconcerting quality about them. In addition, a liquid that looked just as much like blood as it did ink had pooled into multi-hued stains all across the lip of the front cover. Oh my god. And that grotesque cover was already unpleasant looking enough to begin with. There's no mistaking it. These pages were made from human skin and animal hide. This is without a doubt the Book of Shadows. Sis told me about it. It's a tome with a long history wrought in blood, passed down from generation to generation in secret. It dates back to the tumultuous days of the witch hunts that occurred at the end of the Middle Ages, primarily in Europe. Witch hunts? Yeah. Mass paranoia led to the indiscriminate persecution and slaughter of as many as 40,000 people. They were suspected of practicing black magic by making pacts with the devil. I mean, if I found someone who was saying crazy things and had that book made from like human skin, yeah, I would probably believe them, honestly. So the churches and local communities brought them to trial, where they were almost always subjected to horrible torture and eventually executed. Usually in really cruel ways. Yeah, the witch hunts were no fucking joke. They were pretty fucking terrifying. People began blaming them for natural disasters, poverty, and other unfortunate realities of life, and influential individuals used them as scapegoats. The vast majority of those killed were just innocent victims of circumstance who happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. But there were a few. Oh, wow. That's her with her sister there. There were a few gifted people among those who had legitimately mastered the practical use of magic. Gifted people? And what do you mean practical use of magic? Are you talking like witches flying on brooms and stuff? That's impossible. It is hard to believe, isn't it? But I want you to know everything about this, Ayumi. About the things in this world that science can't quite explain, about the paranormal. I'm already familiar with your studies, though. You taught me the laws of the natural world, and the true nature of magic is prayer. Makes sense, too. It's really easy to understand how powers like that would work. But anything more than that, like flying around on brooms and stuff, it just seems like fantasy to me. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure that's what Dad and Mom must have thought, too, when I told them I was interested in Wicca. To them, it was just a dangerous fantasy. Though there are also the Shinozaki family roots to consider, but that's a long story, so how about we save that for another time? Okay. Witches, you see, were usually village elders and sages back in those days, conducting themselves with intelligence, dignity, and honor. So when the witch hunts began, they were smart enough to hide their powers from public view, and as a result, ironically, the majority of them survived. But even after the ban on witchcraft was lifted, the memories of what happened remain, and the black arts continued to be socially shunned. Eventually, the powers of magic began to fade with disuse, and the witches feared that these powers, passed from generation to generation throughout their long, proud history, were in danger of being lost forever. So they began chronicling them on paper, in painstaking detail, for all posterity. And that chronicle is right here, the Book of Shadows. Passed from one gifted mage to another, revised and amended countless times, a complete guide to witchcraft, detailing spells pertaining to all creation. You may have heard of Al-Azif, that infamous Lovecraftian grimoire that everyone says is just a work of fiction. But whenever this book comes up, even among researchers, people always debate whether or not it's real. They always admit it's a possibility. Supposedly, it contains a complete listing of white and black magic spells, all manner of lost arts, and even some forbidden acts of sorcery. As in the really dangerous kind of magic? It'd be really dangerous in the wrong hands. That's why it was supposed to have been enshrined and kept under watch by the witch's descendants. Why is something like that here, tucked away in a room in rural Japan? I don't know. But it's been a good half a century or so since anyone's been able to prove they laid eyes on it. And that's led many people to doubting its existence. Class rep suddenly picked up the book and began casually thumbing through it. I would not do that, as if she were looking up a word in a dictionary. Hey, is it really okay to be holding on to that, much less opening it? Yeah, it can't hurt to take a quick look. The tome, with its cover that seemed to have been stitched together from the hides of different animals, looked heavy in the class rep's hands. She became instantly engrossed in its contents as she hungrily flipped through the pages one after another. Yeah, this is what begins her obsession. She's trying to find a way to bring her friends back to life. As for me, all I could do was watch in awe as my very real friend and classmate lost herself in this very occult book in this very impossible place. As expected, the book was not written in Japanese, but in a mixture of French and what I could only assume to be magic runes of some sort. As a high school student, I certainly couldn't read any of it, nor could the class rep, but some pages had Japanese notes scribbled in the margins. Notes that were very possibly penciled in by Yoshie Shinozaki. I have no idea if there'll be Japanese footnotes for it or not, but I'm betting if I look in the sorcery section. The glint in her eyes was one of desperation as she continued flipping through the pages. What was she doing? Starting to get uncomfortably nervous about this whole thing. Eventually, her legs must have gotten tired as she sat down on the floor, but she continued paging through the Book of Shadows. Then finally, she seemed to find whatever it was she was looking for. The sound of stretched skin flipping upon itself stopped, and she just stared. This is it. What? Land of Corpses. A spell to open the door of the dead. I think this is what created Heavenly Host. There are notes all over it. There certainly are, but why has the whole page been crossed out like that? I don't know. Maybe the spell failed. Maybe whoever was casting it seized up with fear partway through. But that doesn't matter now. Look at this. Look, Nakashima. Raising of corpses, a spell to resurrect the dead. That can't actually work, can it? Resurrecting the dead is just impossible. Are you still bound by common sense, then? Have you forgotten where we are right now?
I had to admit, that was a good point. I don't like the way she's looking at us right now. I'm a little concerned. Reality, as I knew it, was far different now than it was when I woke up this morning.
But is it okay for us to do something like that? I mean, ethically, wouldn't we be crossing a line humans weren't meant to cross? Are you scared? Huh? No, you're not just scared. You're also forgetting about all the people we lost, about what they've been going through. Think about Miss Yui, and Suzumoto, and Shinohara, and Morishige, all their wits' end suffering in that horrible place. Think about how painful their deaths were, how their existences were erased from this world. Can you really accept that as reality? I know I sure can't, and I'm betting the same is true for you.
That's right. Our friends were dead. They died, but we came here so we could do something about it. And if we didn't do this, nothing would change. They'd still be dead. In hope of ever hearing their voices again, their faces eventually forgotten. Tears began welling up in my eyes. I miss them so much, and I'd do whatever it took to get them back. If I could just see them again. If I could just talk to Seiko even one more time.
It's okay. It's okay. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. We've climbed our way out of that hell. We broke free from Heavenly Host. So let's follow our hearts now. If there's something we can do to fix this situation, then we have to do it. So, come on. Let's do it. Okay.
It didn't matter how improbable or even impossible this was. If there were only a 1 in a million chance, we had to take it. It was absolutely foolish of us to try this. It was unnatural and unholy and completely inadvisable. But as long as there was that slight possibility, this was something that just had to be done. We weren't about to give up without a fight. Oh wow. Sachiko with her mother and apparently her father.
For the practitioners of forbidden sorcery suffer even greater payback for their actions than black magic users. But this book wasn't written in Japanese, and I can't read the parts that warn about that, so out of sight, out of mind, I can handle this.
Oh, that's not a good idea, Ayumi!
This isn't quite the solution I had in mind, but as long as it lets us reunite with the friends we've lost, I really don't care. Since they don't even exist in our world anymore, dragging them back by force seems like our only option.
You're not considering all the bad things that could happen, though! What if they come back as undead zombies? You're really not thinking properly! Then again, they're teenagers and they're desperate. How am I not surprised?
Yeah, so let's just do it. Okay, how about we start with Suzumoto? We need a photograph for the spell to work, and I've got one of her with me. Alright.
Our first attempt at resurrecting the dead was going to be a spell to bring back Mayu Suzumoto. All the materials we needed were present and accounted for in bottles and jars within the room. A beetle carapace, part of an animal's body, etc. First step was to carve a pentagram into the floor with a knife and place 3 paper dolls in the center of the sort used in the Sachiko ritual. One in the middle would bear the name of the person we wished to raise. The others were on either side were names of their casters. Our names.
Oh, this is just a bad idea. How could you think this is a good idea, guys? Mayu Suzumoto.
The class rep was then to place Suzumoto's photo on top of the prayer doll dedicated to her. As for our paper dolls, We each had to blow them 3 times, then cut our palms with the knife and coat the spell materials in our blood. Okay, here we go. Be strong. Ew. My blood mixed together with the class reps in the white ceramic dish, forming one singular globule. So, I want to point out something, and I'm not going to spoil this, but I mean, like, this answers a question for me that I never understood in the next game. Because, and I'll bring it up when it becomes relevant in that game without spoiling it, but I mean, like, this is very interesting, because I didn't know that this took place, and it answers a big question for me. And, again, this will come back later when we play Blood Drive, but for now, just know that this just answered a big question I had about Blood Drive. I remember hearing once that everyone's blood is a slightly different color, and found myself thinking of this as I applied pressure to my throbbing palms. With all the setup taken care of, it was now time to chant the spell. Fortunately, these foreign words all had Japanese pronunciations written in above them. Arya, Timuria, Kanda, Atrios, Inumis, Kalit, Dimura. This was starting to feel crazy. I was sitting here listening to the class rep chant a magic spell to raise the dead, for goodness sake. I wasn't sure how much of a grip I had on reality anymore. What were we thinking? Trying something like this, would this really bring Suzumoto back? No, I had to concentrate. If I doubted the spell, then the spell would fail. For now, I had to believe that this would work. And I had no reason not to. You have a lot of reasons not to, actually! Teria, Manimus, Capra, Wicca, On, Ruka, Tapika, Kanda! The ritual took several hours to complete. Oh my god. With the class rep continually chanting away the whole time. Finally, the last word on the last page was spoken. Class rep? Are you okay? Come on! Well, do you think it's going to work? I think that's a no. I'm pretty sure that's a no. Blood-red stains that looked almost like letters suddenly splashed onto the open book of shadows, though it was unclear where they'd come from. What? No, if the book catches fire, Cluster quickly snatched the book away from the flame that sprouted out of thin air. Photo of Suzumoto she'd set down had completely burned to nothing, but the paper doll below it was unscathed. So, what does that mean? Does that mean we succeeded? Yeah. Shig? Mayu? Shig? Where are you? That voice was unmistakably Suzumoto's. Two of us took one another's hands, and we just waited. Shig! Where are you? Suzumoto! I started to call out to her, but the class rep held up a hand to stop me. Something's not right. What do you mean? She's walking in circles. After a few footsteps, we heard the unmistakable sound of the heavy safe door we'd left ajar, opening all the way. And the footsteps resumed. This time they were coming toward us. I instantly shrunken back and frozen myself in place, afraid of the unknown presence approaching us from up above. She was certainly in no hurry. Slowly, ploddingly, she climbed down the staircase. Oh, fuck! She has no face! Probably because the photo of her also had no face. Oh my god! Oh my god! It was Suzumoto, all right. But her face was completely blotted out. No eyes, no nose, no mouth. She... I couldn't tell if she was screaming or moaning, but either way, she was clearly in agony. The sound was barely even human. It was a death knell. Our spell had failed. Oh my god. The Suzumoto-like being when someone was lying flat on the ground, face up, writhing and spasming. There was nothing we could do to help her. Nothing at all. As I observed these convulsions, I noticed rune-like symbols appearing all over her body. And then, without warning, her paper doll burst into flames. Oh my god. As soon as it did, blood began spraying from each of the runes on her body, just like water shooting from a fire hose. Oh my god! Her arms, neck, and thighs were all separated from her torso. Right where the runes had appeared a moment ago, and the Suzumoto-like being moved no more. The flame that engulfed her paper doll was now completely extinguished, leaving behind nothing but ash. Oh, well, fuck. What? And the class rep fell to her knees as well. She was bleeding from her arms and legs in the exact same spots as the Suzumoto-like being, and bore the same runic symbols. Class rep! Oh shit! Oh my god! Round saw blades were now jutting from the marks on her body. Why? Where'd they come from? Ow! God, it hurts! Class rep! It hurts! What is this? It's exactly the same. The same death that this fake Suzumoto was subjected to. I'm going to die in the exact same way. I've heard that practitioners of forbidden sorcery suffer even greater payback for their actions than black magic users. Oh no, right. Payback. No! No! Nakashima the paper doll, put it out! Hang in there, I'll have it out in no time, just another few seconds! I tried putting out the fire by slapping the paper doll with my hand. I was so panicked, I couldn't feel the heat of the flame on my skin. Go out, damn it, go out! Go out already, god damn it! It wasn't working. It wasn't doing anything. The fire just continued to burn. It's not going out, what do I do? No, please! Wasn't there anything else I could try? Looked around and saw a paint can full of water nearby. Come on, work! I was acting on impulse. I didn't even think about what I was doing. I just threw the entire contents of the can right onto the flaming paper doll. Oh, that's worse! Blood spurting from the mark on the class rep's... Oh, God. Round saw blade from the desk earlier was digging in for some reason. It hurts! No! I don't want to die! Save me! Class rep! Seemed to be no escape for us. We were destined to die here. This was our punishment for meddling in things no human should. For playing God. Oh no, mine was on fire now too. I was next. There was no fighting this. We were both going to die here. We We're going to die horribly and painfully. No! Ayumi! Like an angel sent down from on high, our savior suddenly appeared. A woman older than us scrambled down the stairs, calling out the class rep's name. She leapt over the railing and practically dove toward the paper dolls. By the power of the guardian spirits, I cast out that which would do us harm. Taito Kujo, On Haku On! Oh my god. It is a good thing her sister is an actual spiritualist who knows what she's doing. Sis? The fire is out. I had no idea what this woman had done. Whatever it was, it saved us. The flames were out and we were no longer in danger. The class rep's neck, though gashed, was still fully intact. Sis? Sis? She flung herself at this new arrival and latched onto her, tears practically exploding from her eyes. I guess this was that sister of hers I'd heard so much about. Jeezums! Corpse Party blood drive. Oh my god. Oh my god. I mean, like, I knew that her sister died. I hope that I kept that a good secret from you guys. Like, I knew that she died because, you know, I knew that in Blood Drive she died saving her sister in this game, but I didn't know how. And this is just a guess from what I've seen here. Because I played the first one, I played Blood Drive a while ago, so, like, I don't fully remember exactly what happens there. But from what I remember, and, like, from everything I'm kind of piecing together here, I think that, like, she couldn't stop the curse. Like, Hinoue literally sacrificed herself for her sister. Basically, she turned the curse on herself, took the full brunt of it, and that's why her head exploded. At least that's all I can interpret. One from, like, what I just saw here, and from what I remember of Blood Drive. Oh my god. Oh my god. Holy fuck balls. Damn. Prologue clear. EVP machine unlocked in bonus. EVP machine? What's the EVP machine? I don't know. The turning point. Jeezums. Let me see. What is the EVP machine? Yeah, okay, so apparently it's just like, I can create my own conversations. I don't really need to, though. Weird thing to have, but either way, guys, that's it. That is the end of Corpse Party Book of Shadows. Whoo boy! Didn't quite expect that. I didn't even get to explore the whole house. Damn, maybe I could have, but I just went to the right place early. I don't know. Either way, thank you everybody so much for joining me. This has been an amazing game, and I love it. And next up, of course, we've got Corpse Party Blood Drive. Now, I did ask if you guys wanted me to play that, in-between game, like the Sachiko birthday game, and I've thought about it, and, while I wouldn't mind playing it, I definitely feel like it would be a thing I would probably play at another time. I think I want to go right into Blood Drive from here, because obviously that's, where the next, thing is taking us. But, oh my god, ooh, holy shitaki. Yeah, I kind of wasn't surprised that one, the ritual failed, and two, I was just like, this is all sorts of bad ideas. Granted, they're teenagers, but still, this is just all sorts of bad ideas. This is why you don't fuck with spirits, or spells, or any of that shit. But either way, thank you everyone for joining me for the entirety of this game. I'm happy I got all, the endings and everything, and of course when I play Blood Drive, I plan to get all of the endings in that game for you as well, so that you can see all of them, and we'll get the entire scope of the entire game, because when I first played Blood Drive, I didn't go for the bad endings. I just kept going for the good endings. If I got a bad ending, I just kept going until I got the good ending. And there's some extra side stories in that game as well, just like there was in, the first game. So, I am real excited for it. I'm real excited for it, and I hope that you guys are too. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I mean, a lot of fun for me to revisit that. Especially now, armed with all the knowledge that I have from the first two games, because, like I said, I played it on its own because, I saw it in the store and was like, that looks creepy. Sure, I'll pick that up. I'll check this out. And then I played it, and I was like, I have no idea what's going on with these characters. I have no idea. I remember, I saw Markiplier play, the original game that didn't have, half of the characters in it. When it was, a really, really old, it's, the very first draft of it, So, I saw Markiplier play that years ago, so I kind of had a vague idea going into that. But I mean, obviously, I didn't know anything. And so now I feel like I am armed with knowledge and I am ready for the final installment in this series. And I did find out that I don't believe that I have posted my playthrough of Corpse Party 2, and I found it. I definitely did play it. I did it for a stream, and I've actually already edited it. I found out that I already edited it, I just never posted it. So I will put that up for you guys once we finish Blood Drive, so that I'll have played the entire series. And granted, that's me playing it, I will have played Corpse Party 2 after I've only played Blood Drive, so maybe my knowledge isn't quite complete. I'm going to sound weird in that one, especially because it's a year or so old now. But either way, I'm excited, and thank you all for joining me. I cannot wait to play the next one, and until then, have yourselves a beautiful day, my beautiful, beautiful viewers. Hey there! If you enjoyed this video, why don't you consider subscribing to my Patreon so I can keep making awesome videos like the one you just saw. The link will be in the description below, and as always, have yourselves a beautiful, beautiful day.